Okay, we're ready to get back and finish up this broccoli salad. I've already got the majority of it chopped, but just to let y'all see what I do. I mean, it's already been washed. Make sure when you get your broccoli that you wash it thoroughly. Now, I'll tell you how much salad this is. This is four heads of broccoli or four florets, about a good 8-inch circle of broccoli. So this is going to be a lot of broccoli salad because whenever I make it, my family eat a lot of it. So I make sure that I take it apart, cut all the stems out of it, take it apart, and then cut it down to this point right here. Cut it all the way down to there. And then all you have left to do is just sort of, let me get turn around here for you. Okay, then what you have to do is just chop it like that, like so. Just chop in it. So that's the sous chef part of making the broccoli salad. Make sure it's please thoroughly wash it. Put it in a colander and make sure all the water is drained off because you don't want that excess water getting into your salad because it's going to get water. Broccoli is a water vegetable, so it's going to excrete its own water anyway, its own liquid. So get as much water off of it. You can even take paper towels and dry it off if you like. But just to get it as dry as possible. Or you can, if you got one of those little things that my daughter gave me that I forgot to use this time, just like the thing that you do lettuce in to whisk all the water out. Use one of those because you want as less water as possible. Or if it has a lot of water in it, then you can just flip it over into the colander. And I'll show you how to do that because if mine has a lot of water, that's what I do. It's not a big deal, but you'll just figure out how to get rid of the water. Okay, that had a little bit of water. Okay, next, this is a super giant sweet onion. You can use red onion, you can use regular onion. Just so happens these are the onions that I had this time here at the house. I've got just a regular sweet Vidalia onion. I'm just going to chop it like this. Just cut it into little squares. Cut it like so. And you can put as little or as much onion as you want. Some people don't like a lot of onion, but this is good with onion. You got to put some onion in it. So this is the equivalent of one large onion. That's how much this is. So just put it in like so. So now I got my onions. I've got the broccoli in. This is very simple to make. The most work you're going to do with this dish is get it cleaned and cut up. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and put in some raisins. For this amount, like I said, those 4 head of broccoli. I've got, of course, these are nice Food Line raisins. This is a half cup. I should have got my whole cup thing. I'm going to put in about a cup of raisins for this amount. And you can just adjust the amount of raisins and whatnot according to the amount of broccoli. Because once you get it mixed up, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll know if that's too much or if that's too little. Okay, I've also, to cut the time to making it, I got some real bacon bits by Food Line. These are like $2 for a little bag. This is, let's see, 2.8 ounces. Okay. So I want, for right now, I'm just going to do it because you don't want to get too many ingredients going in. So I'm just going to sprinkle because you don't want too many. You don't want that bacon to take over the salad. So for me, for that amount, 1/2 of a cup is plenty. See, you can see it right there. Okay. Now you've got all your basic ingredients in there. So what I'm going to do next is to go ahead and put the mayonnaise in there. I'm going to start out with 1 cup of mayo. Now, because y'all know how I do as far as the measuring is concerned, I'm just going to take and measure out. Hold on just a minute. Let me get my 1 cup measuring cup. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so that's 1 cup of mayo. And let me just say this. I know I use Food Line mayonnaise, and I've used Miracle Whip at times, but here we go. This is Hellmann's. Now, Hellmann's is the signature mayonnaise to making anything. But now, if you've started using Food Line mayonnaise is good. It's just that Hellmann's is a little bit thicker, creamier, and it has a stick-to-itiveness consistency to it. So you can use any other brand that you want to, but to get the taste that I like, I prefer to use Hellmann's. But I will use Food Lion. Some people use Duke's. Whatever you prefer as far as mayo, but you have to put some mayonnaise in there, okay? Hold on one sec. Okay, I almost forgot my cheese, y'all. I've got some Food Lion brand, and this is this is a fancy 4-cheese Mexican blend that I'm going to put in there. So we're going to see. It's supposed to have 4 different kinds of cheese. I sampled it a little bit last night. Or you can use shredded cheddar, any kind of cheese. And look, you don't need a lot of cheese either. These are just to enhance, not to take over, not to be the lead flavor in there. So we're going to start, and I'm only going to put like a half a cup of this cheese into there. Okay, there we go. Half a cup for this amount. Now remember, 4 heads of broccoli. So when you go in, if you don't want to make this much, you can start breaking down the ingredients simply by cutting them in half. Somebody's trying to call me. Hold on one sec. Okay, I'm back. That phone call just cut my recording off. I don't know. Whoever it was dialed the wrong number. Anywho, I'm back, y'all. We're going to finish this up. Okay, so now I've got that half cup of cheese in there. So let's recap. I've got 4 heads of broccoli, washed, destemmed, cleaned thoroughly. So you won't get grit in there. And then I've got a large sweet Vidalia onion, or you can put red onion or just regular onion if you like. I've got 1 cup of raisins. And you can use the dark raisins or you can use the light raisins. A half a cup of shredded 4-cheese blend. And I'm also going to be putting some sugar in there. And I'll tell you about the measurements on the sugar. Okay, and I've got a cup of mayo so far. Okay, so I use 2 tablespoons of sugar in this amount of broccoli salad. Because I am now using raw sugar, it's very grainy and granulated. I don't put the grains or granules in there, and I don't have any other kind of sugar, so I use what's in my cabinet because I know how to work it. Okay, so what I've done, I've wet my brown. If this is the only sugar you got with the grain, just go ahead and wet it. And I found out one thing. This sugar, you don't have to use as much. I love that. It's sweet. So that's the equivalent of 2 tablespoons full. I found that out when I put it in my coffee. And this is just as good, I'm told, as using stevia when you use the raw sugar. So, anyway, this salad is ready to mix now, y'all. And you see now, like I said, this is very simple to make. It's not all that time consuming. The most time you'll spend is cleaning there's a big one. I'm just going to take that out and cut it up. So all you got to do is leave that big one. And nobody wants to chew down that big old piece. Anyway, the most work you're going to do with this salad is to get it cleaned up and cut up. And the rest of it is just a matter of mixing. And I would say inside of about 12-15 minutes from start to finish, even with the cleaning process, because the putting together process only takes about 5 to 10 minutes. If the phone don't ring, the kids don't come to the door, and all that kind of stuff. So just get it mixed up really good here. Once you get it mixed up real good, taste it. Remember to taste your food. Now make sure whether or not you need salt, pepper, more sugar, whatever. And you do know that this salad is going to taste better tomorrow than it does today. Because broccoli is very crunchy. And by tomorrow, the mayo and the other ingredients will have time to break it down and get all the ingredients going into it. So, and y'all forgive my voice again. The pollen is back. It's trying to get at my throat again. I don't know. We had a real heavy rain the other day. And it washed a lot of it away, but it's still here. I think I'm going to have to use just a little bit more of mayonnaise in here. And because I've got some Miracle Whip, and I've got so I'm going to say we're going to have to use 1.5 cups of mayo. So what I've got left of this Food Lion, I'm getting this stuff out my fridge. So that's about 1/8 cup there. And then I'm going to put a little, how about that? That was Miracle Whip. So I'm about to get rid of that Miracle Whip. So we're going to need 1.5 cups of this amount. as you stir, look at the consistency and see, you may want to put less, you may want to put more. That's up to you. But the basic ingredients and the way to mix this and put this together, all in the same, one and the same, okay? So I just wanted to give you all this little quick recipe on how to do broccoli salad. You can also use some shredded carrots in here if you like to for color. I'm not sure if I got shredded carrots or not. I'm going to tune out for a second and see, just to show y'all how pretty it looks with the carrots in it. Okay. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I did find some carrots. I found a few carrots, about a fourth of a cup of carrots. This is optional. If you want to put carrots, you can say it's color, flavor, and nutrition to your dish. And this is a great side with chicken, with fish, with meatloaf, shrimp, whatever, anything you want to eat with. Always a great side dish. It's a great summer dish as well. And you know what I like about it more than anything else? It keeps in the fridge. You can keep this in the refrigerator for a week. It'll start, now the broccoli will start after a week. The broccoli will get broken down and become softer. Longer than that, its texture changes a little bit too much for me. But it keeps well in the refrigerator. Just keep it covered. Mine doesn't last over a couple of days because my daughter Tansy, when she gets into it, she eats it like it's not a, just like a little garnish side, as I call it, just a little side to add a little extra flick of flavor to your meal. She eats it like a real side, like the rice and gravy, or like the potatoes, or like the collards. That's how she eats this. So mine doesn't last long. But anyway, I went ahead and put another fourth of a cup of raisins in there because, like I said, I always taste my food first and foremost before it goes out. Remember, I put a half a cup of raisins in this amount. I added another fourth of a cup because I felt like it needed. I'm also going to put some more sugar in there because I only put 2 tablespoons about, and then I also added some stevia because I use stevia in my food, and stevia sweetens well. So I put a little stevia because you want it to be nice. This is like a dish that, for me, for my family, we like it sort of sweet. So to pump it up a little bit more, I'm going to add another tablespoon of sugar, and I added 2 packs of stevia. So a tablespoon, so we're going to say we had a fourth of a cup of sugar in here. And this amount, now remember the 4 head of broccoli is what you're measuring it against. And the carrots, I threw them in a fourth of a cup. That was about all I had. I don't want to overpower it with any one thing because the main thing is your broccoli. You get that good old sort of salty, bacony taste and that little sweet taste, and that onion pops in there with that. It's a really great dish. I want y'all to just try it, and you'll like it. I'm sure a lot of you have tried it, but I want you to try it again. See how easy it is to make. I'm going to go ahead now. Like I told you, my sugar, of course, is a liquid sugar. I have to break it down from those crystals. I use the raw sugar and it's in crystals. So, I've added that in. I've already thrown the carrots in there. Like I said, it was about a good fourth of a cup. And sort of gives it a little bit of color and flavor. And the raisins. The raisins give it a little sweetness too. All of these ingredients, like I've told you, tomorrow, this broccoli salad is going to be at the level that you really, really want. So really, this could be a do-ahead if you got company coming. Do it ahead of time, and by the time they get there the next day, honey, it's something else. I mean, it's good the first day. But like some things like that, a squash casserole that I made, I took the rest of it to my girlfriend Barb's house last night. She called me and we decided to get together, so I went by her house. And after she got off work, and we just sit and chit-chat and talk like we've always done. And I took the rest of that, the rest of the squash casserole. Took the rest of it. I had a good 2 servings. Took it by honey. And whoo! I threw some more cheese on top of it. Now remember, I made this squash casserole. I made it on Sunday. Honey, the longer you leave that up to 1 week, the better it tastes. And last night it was yummy. And Barbara's a cook. Barbara's a chef. I mean, she's the director of a food facility of the dining room at a food facility. So she throws down. She cooks. She's had her own restaurants and stuff. And this was one of those things that she really, like, she enjoyed, you know, and I know she works hard, so I was obliged to bring it by. We had a nice cold glass of wine, and that was all we had. Oh, and wow, she introduced me to some kind of bread, and I cannot think of the name of it. I'm gonna go purchase some today. I'm gonna have to go look it up online. But it was like almost like a big fly. It was like a thick flour tortilla, and you just heat it up. Now you can make your own, but because the one she let me taste last night was so good, it was already made. You know, I don't believe in reinventing the wheel, so it was great. It's nice and it's like almost chewy and it's buttery and it's just really good. And I cannot think it was the one that she gave me. Um, was it? It's Asians use it. It's almost like couscous because it's like it's wonderful. I wish I could think of the name, but the name right now it's R I. Oh, it starts with an R. Anyway, y'all probably know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm going to be using that from now on. That's my bread of the hour. When I get ready to make my next single dish, maybe I would have thought of it. But anyhow, almost done with this broccoli salad except for I'm going to go do one more taste run. After that, it's going to be wrapped up and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. Tansy and one of her friends are coming by to get some later. And the rest is going to be for the house. So, this much broccoli salad would feed a crowd of normal eating people. But as y'all know, my kids do not eat normally. They're just not normal eating folks. Let's see. It's ready, y'all. It is ready. The extra ingredients that I added in there, just listen in. And you'll see, because I like mine nice, tart, and sweet. Didn't have to put any salt. Excuse me, that pollen's got me again. But I didn't have to use any salt in this dish, so that's a plus. So there we got it. Broccoli salad, a nice big pan full. Okay? So go ahead, go to the store, your shopping list, get you some broccoli, some raisins, bacon bits, shredded carrots, some mayo, some sweet onions or red onions, doesn't matter. Clean up, chop up, stir up, and then eat up. So, until I cook again, I'm going to say toodaloo. I'll see y'all again for one of these short dishes. Take care. Love you. Keep the prayers going up so the blessings will continue to come down. Make yourself something good for lunch today. It's still early, y'all. Toodaloo.